Welcome to Bryan High School, where we are live. Bryan and Napoleon girls basketball OHSA tournament action. Lady Bears hosting the Napoleon Wildcats tonight. Rematch of a game earlier in the season that Napoleon won here at Bryan, so the Lady Bears with a chance to get a little bit of revenge for that. Bryan Arnold and Tim Meister here. Coach Meister, tournament time. Everybody's got a chance to start a second season. Coaches love to talk about a second season. Lady Bears, not a bad season overall. It's not what it's been the last few, but with the crew that we had, I really think a positive season for Coach Grosjean and the girls.
Yeah, well said. Losing as much as they did, having very few experienced players coming back, having a little bit of a rough start to a season, but then I think turning it on and really, for the most part, I thought they maximized their success as much as they could. A couple close games against Patrick Henry, Genoa go the other way. All of a sudden that record looks a little different. And they're young. They have one senior. Everybody else is coming back. And I think we talked about this. It's a team that's really primed for a tournament run because they've gained some confidence. Tough matchup tonight, but again, like you said, it's tournament time. It's one of the great things about basketball. You start a football season 2-5, you're probably out of the playoffs. You start the basketball season 2-5, you still have something to practice for and to play for. So tournament time is a very, very neat time of the year.
Yeah, and like you said, I think one of the big things, the girls have had a positive season. They got themselves a winning record on the year with a bunch of new faces, and outside of one senior, everyone's back next year. So a lot of good things for the Bears. So this is the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to tip-off. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. We had a chance to chat with Bryan head coach Todd Grosjean. You're going to hear that after this timeout on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back out to the Golden Bear Sports Network. Don Malenga joined with the head coach of the girls basketball team, Coach Grosjean. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. So obviously we did your last game, which was against Wauseon, and it was a tough loss, but Wauseon was a good physical team. What did you guys kind of take out of that game?
Well, we knew going in there, you hit a nail right on the head. They're a physical group. They're a veteran group. We knew we were going to get their best. They've got some shooters, and we battled for a half, and then third quarter they started to extend their lead, and then the fourth quarter I think we just ran out of gas. We struggled to score. We took some quick shots and ended up, the point differential was quite larger than it probably should have been. But our kids have battled. They didn't back down from the physical play. And we're going to probably see the same kind of style from Napoleon.
Yeah, Landon and I had talked about that in the broadcast a little bit. As Napoleon and Wauseon kind of had similar styles, both had good shooting teams, both were going to run fast, physical ball. Was there anything that you did against Wauseon to just kind of prepare yourself for this tournament game coming forward?
Yeah, we basically have been, working on Napoleon for, almost a week and a half now. We have not defended very well, which kind of concerns me because over at Swanton, the second half, especially when we had a 20-plus lead at halftime, we did not guard very well the second half. And then the second half against the fourth quarter against Wauseon, we did the same thing. So, that's a concern right now. We've got some kids that are battling some illness too going in, so that's also a concern. But I think hopefully our kids are up for the challenge ahead of them, and they're fired up to play Napoleon, having been that they jumped on us in the tournament draw. So obviously they're coming over here with the idea that they can beat us.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, you guys played Napoleon earlier in the season, not a great result. Napoleon had a really great night, and we didn't have our best night. And you guys get the 3 seed, they get the 4 seed, and instead of having a home game for their seniors, they decide, hey, we're going to jump, we're going to go play Bryan because we think we can beat them. Has that motivated your girls at all?
Oh, I think it is. And, that was kind of a turning point for us midway point in the season. We did not play well. We did not guard well. It was a Monday night, first Monday night game I think we played, and did not play well defensively. We lost track of shooters. They played extremely well. And then Gabby Mossberg probably had the best game of her career, and 2 days later she goes down with her ankle, and we had Patrick Henry on the horizon, and we weren't sure what we were going to get. And I think Coach Arnold talked about years past that could have went one of two ways. You either rally around each other, or you pack her in. And I think our kids showed a lot of character with the way they came back and fought probably the best team on their schedule, best team in the area, and Patrick Henry, and gave them all they wanted. So, hopefully we're going to get that same kind of effort. We keep going back to that game in reference to how we have to play. Genoa was the same kind of basketball game. Very good basketball team came in here, I think a week or so ago, and the kids didn't back down from the physical play in that game. So I think we're hopefully going to get the best out of our kids.
Yeah, and we talked about that game against Napoleon. I think the two biggest things for me was Napoleon's just shot lights out, and we kind of struggled on defense that game. What kind of tweaks are you going to be making? I know we saw a little bit of a zone and a mix with the man against Wassiano. We're going to see some of that. Is it going to just be whatever comes to mind to you when the game happens?
Well, we're going to go with a couple different things and see what's working. Obviously, they have shooters. Ava Good's one of the best shooters in the area. We need to know where she's at. The Cicero girl out at the point can also, besides put the ball on the floor and get to the basket, she can shoot it if left alone. And obviously the Miller girl didn't miss a shot the night that they played us. So, they've got some other weapons as well from the perimeter. So we're going to have to get out on shooters. When you do that, kind of opens up things in the paint. And they've got the Huddle girl that really hurt us on the offensive glass. So we're going to have to, account for her rebounding-wise. But I think our kids are up to the challenge.
Yeah. And I kind of want to talk, at least on the rebounding side, a really good job has been Miley Balmer the past couple of games. And normally we see her do that. Really good job on defense, really good job. But she's been really good on the offensive side of the game, too. I know against Wassian she had double digits, and I think one or two games ago she had a double digit. So how important has it been for you guys to have her come off the bench and produce like she has been?
Well, all along we knew what we had in Miley. Problem is, obviously, physically she has trouble at times with her health. She's sick again today, so we'll see what we get out of her tonight. But she's very skilled offensively. Defensively at times she, gets worn out, gets tired, and that's when we get into trouble with her on the defensive end. And we've talked to her about it. Moving forward, she's going to have to obviously get in better shape and take better care of herself. But, she's as talented as anybody in the area. And, she's got post moves. She can shoot the three. She can handle the ball a little bit. She just needs to, take a little bit more effort at the defensive end and put forth some effort, and she'll be right there.
Yeah, and kind of finally, I know you've kind of hit on it a little bit, but you've had some illness, obviously some injuries you've had as well, and then the chance with a lot of snow coming tonight where there might be a delay tomorrow, there might not be school at all. How do you keep that focus going where there's a chance that you don't have school and you still have to play a playoff game tomorrow? How have you tried to deal with that?
Well, we're going to talk about it tonight with our kids at practice, and if school's canceled, we'll try to get them up out of bed, make sure they're out of bed, not sleep until 1 or 2 o'clock, and come showing up like a Walking Dead. But if the weather, you can't control the weather. We're going to control what we can control, and obviously Napoleon's going to be in the same situation. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully the day's as normal as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good luck to you guys. We're really excited to watch it, and it should be a good game. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll be back after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Back at Bryan High School, OHSA tournament action tonight. The Lady Bears hosting Napoleon. Today's game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. Last meeting between those two teams I mentioned earlier was about a month ago on January 13th. Napoleon defeated Bryan that night 63-37 and just shot the lights out. Both Miller and Good were fantastic. Miller especially from outside the arc, inside the arc, free throw line. I'm not sure she's missed a shot yet, including warm-ups tonight. Let's look at Napoleon coming into tonight's game, led by Coach Cicero. Coach Meister will break down the Wildcats.
Napoleon is led by head coach Greg Cicero in his second year, overall record of 25-20. The Lady Cats only averaging 42.5 points a game, but they're only allowing 32 points, a tad over that. Shooting 37% from the field, 34% from the three, 71% from the line. getting about 25 rebounds and 11 assists per game. And the Lady Cats, as Coach Arnold alluded to, may have played the best game we have seen this year, and Hannah Miller may have had the most efficient offensive performance that we have seen this year. Now let's flip it over to Coach for their previous 5 games.
You can see those games there on the screen. Ended up being the winners of the Cardinal division, won their last 5. They are overall 14-8, 9-1 in the NLL Cardinal division. So with a split in the NLL, the Lady Wildcats there winning their side of it. You can see the final standings tied at the top with Fremont Ross. The Lady Bears didn't see any of those. There's no common opponents out of those teams, but still, anytime you can win anything in the NLL, it's pretty impressive. So the Lady Bears come in tonight underneath Coach Todd Grosjean, 12-10 overall. Like I said, at this point, 500 season guaranteed for the girls, and I know, looking at it from the inside the program standpoint, I think that's a pretty big positive as far as the girls are concerned.
Yeah, very good positive on that. Head coach Todd Grosjean ends his 18th year this year, 366 and 199 overall. Lady Bears come in averaging 49.4 points per game and allowing 49.9. They shoot 34% from the field, 27% from the 3, and 70% from the line, so 2 good free throw shooting teams tonight. They get about 24.2 rebounds a game and average about 9 assists. We said the Lady Bears, since the last time they played Napoleon, Coach Grosjean said it, you and I said it, it was a turning point in their season. You had said after that game there's 2 paths they can go down. They can either pack it in or they can rally, and they have done a great job of rallying and putting themselves in a position where things are going to have to go well tonight, but it's not impossible. They're in a situation where, they have motivation to play. I think the last game hopefully is on their mind. It gives them a little bit of, what they call a little bar fighter in them. Let's go out and get into a little bit proverbial fist fight. Let's see what we can do, because they literally laid one on us last time. So I'm very curious how this is going to come out tonight.
Yep, you saw the last 5 right there. Lady Bears 3-2 in the last 5 with a 1-point loss to a really good Genoa team. And Wasion kind of had their way with the girls the last time out. Final standings there in the NWOAL. Bears finished right in the middle after an overtime loss to Archbold and a 3-point loss to Patrick Henry. So like we talked about, if those 2 games go the other way, it really shakes things up as far as the league goes. So we will be back after a 60-second break here. We'll talk about keys and refs after this break for tonight's broadcast.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
All right, let's talk about the keys to tonight's contest. Keys to the game brought to you by the Carlin Company. Realty and Auctioneers have been your hometown real estate company for over 45 years. Consistently remain #1 in Williams County and the surrounding areas since 2007. Call us for all of your real estate needs. So let's start first with the Napoleon Wildcats.
Yeah, for the Lady Cats tonight, keys to the game are identify and handle full court press or 2-3 zone. I think the anticipation is Bryan will try to come out and pressure them early. Work inside out. Don't be completely reliant on the 3. Now, last time they played, they were very reliant on the 3, but that did allow the huddle girl inside to get some open looks. So we'll see if they really try to go inside early. And finally, be disciplined defensively and prevent dribble penetration. We know the Lady Bears are very good at that, and they get their shooters open with the dribble penetration. So those would be the keys for Napoleon.
All right, so let's look at the keys on the other side for the Lady Bears.
For the Lady Bears, defend and contest shots, especially with their shooters, because Napoleon can spread the floor and put 3 or 4 really good shooters on the perimeter. Get off to a good start. That's been one of their bugaboos this year at times. They've gotten down early and had to scratch and fight and claw back. And rebound, certainly that's been a key. I'm going to throw a couple on there that Coach Grosjean didn't, but I think it's really imperative tonight that Avery Ann Fisher and Josie Arnold stay out of foul trouble, especially early. That's something I think is very key. The other thing I want to continue to keep an eye on, I want to see the difference in offensive rebounds between the 2 teams and the difference in turnovers, because those 2 totals will tell you the extra possessions. And extra possessions this game are going to be just absolutely vital.
Absolutely. So we are in the pregame show here for the Lady Bears and Napoleon. Tonight's game officials are brought to you by Tri-State Vision Center, serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all of your eye care needs. The officials tonight, as chosen by the Northwest District, Wayne Allstetter, John Derryberry, and Steve Oren. And Coach Meister and I both mentioned John Derryberry. I don't know if we'll announce years of experience at the scores table tonight, but if they do, he's going to have a lot of years of experience. I'm pretty sure he did games in the Lima area when myself and my sister and my wife were in high school and they were playing and we were watching games there. So a lot of experience for John. I think baseball and softball also did a lot of games for us in that area. So this has been the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to tip-off. Oberlin Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. About 2.5 on the clock. We're going to take a minute break, come back with some final thoughts before we get to starting lineups and the anthem here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
I am blind, but I need not see. I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Back at Bryan High School for tonight's tournament matchup, sectional basketball, Napoleon Wildcats versus the Bryan Lady Bears. So Coach Meister, about a minute 20 or so away from things starting up. We talked about keys to the game, and I've seen all of the games minus maybe a handful here this season, and I think from the last time we played Napoleon and then our matchup with Wauseon, I think one of the keys is not allowing Napoleon's length to be a bother. I thought the matchup with Napoleon early came down to they shot the lights out. I mean, they shot about 70% from the field, shot it well from everywhere, inside, outside, free throw line, didn't matter. But the Lady Bears are really going to have to shoot it well tonight. We're going to have to battle on the boards, limit their second chances. You're going to have to contest those threes the best that we can and try to get them out of a rhythm. And you mentioned that good start. I think that'll really be a key because if there isn't a good start, our girls have scrapped all year. They're going to give Coach Grosjean everything they've got. You got 63-37 in the back of your head. You've got, here we go again in the back of your head. So I think a good start's imperative for our girls just to say, okay, we're in this, get our legs underneath us and go.
Yeah, and the other piece that good start does is Napoleon knows they're supposed to win. I mean, they know the result of the last game. Let's put a little doubt in their head. Let's make it all of a sudden in the middle of the second quarter, we're up 4 or 6. All of a sudden that pressure switches over to the other team. So you're right. I think that good start is imperative to success.
Talked about foul trouble. It's always that way in any basketball game, but especially in a tournament game. How's the whistle going to be? How are the officials going to call it? We know traditionally at every level the whistle in the tournament games are usually a little bit lighter. So we'll see if that's a story tonight, and both teams will be dealing with the same regardless of that.
Right.
So we're going to take it down to public address announcer Aaron Hughes. He's going to take care of announcements, our anthem, and starting lineups here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. That's the national anthem, sponsored by the Veteran Services of Williams County.
Of student athletes and coaches is appreciated by member schools competing for the right to move on.
Starting lineups are sponsored by the Alley Held Herman Memorial Run and Walk. Mark your calendars and lace up your shoes for the 5th annual Alley Held Herman Memorial Run and Walk on Saturday, July 19th, 2025 at the McDonald Ruff Ice Rink.
Requirements set by OHSAA and have been approved based upon the process approved by the OHSAA Board of Directors. Tonight's officials are Mr. Wayne Allstotter, Mr. John Derryberry, and Mr. Stephen Oren. Gentlemen, welcome to Bryan. The athletes, coaches, and officials are all guests of Bryan High School. All fans are asked to respect the effort that each team has put forth in preparing for tonight's contest. We also ask all attending to show courtesy and respect for your fellow fans, officials, coaches, those administering the contest, and of course your team and their opponents. As important as always, please remember to respect the game. Thank you. Now to meet the teams that are playing tonight. First for the guests on the scoreboard, the Napoleon Ladycats. Starters for Napoleon at a guard, a 5'4" sophomore, number 12, Chloe Cicero. At a guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 14, Hannah Miller. At a guard, a 5'11" junior, number 24, Ava Good. At a forward, a 5'9" senior, number 4, Molly Rosebrook. And at a forward, a 5'9" senior, number 11, Lila Huddle. Varsity coaches Craig Cicero, assisted by Neen Kramer, Ryan Ripke, Amberly Abbott, and Julia Roush. Now to meet the home team on the scoreboard, the Bryan Golden Bears. At a guard, a 5' junior, number 2, Ava Zimmerman. At a guard, a 5'4" sophomore, number 4, Amaya Langham. At a guard, a 5'4" sophomore, number 11, Piper Hannah. At a forward, a 5'7" freshman, number 14, Avery Ann Fisher. And at a forward, a 5'8" junior, number 22, Josie Arnold. Varsity coaches Todd Grosjean, assisted by Colin Walker, John Miner, Nikki Miner, and Delaney Valderez. Ladies, let's play ball.
Well, there you have the starting lineup for tonight's game. Regular 5 for the Bears, regular 5 for Napoleon. Same crew that saw each other the last time they met. So, Coach Meister, we're going to get some questions answered here pretty soon.
Yeah, I kind of want to get your opinion, your thoughts. So you've been in this situation like I have as a coach. You know your kids are dying. They want to play this game again. Do you try to make sure they're emotionally in check, or do you say come out and let it rip and let's see what happens?
I think from the way the last one went, I think you kind of come out and let it rip here. Try to get as much of a good start as you can, like what we talked about in the pregame. Napoleon wins the tip. Huddle's got it down in the corner, hands off to Rosebrook. Rosebrook trapped. Avery Ann Fisher playing good tight defense, and that pass to Cicero gets tipped away by Ava Zimmerman. You see the Bears really extending that man-to-man defense way out behind the three-point line right now.
Yeah, I think they want Napoleon to put it on the floor and dribble versus the catch and shoot.
Huddle gets it back to Cicero. She kicks left side. Miller passes up the 3 back to Cicero. Napoleon works it around the horn. Huddle had it up top, swings it back to Miller, guarded by Hannah. Good. Right side, gets into the paint against Langham. Scoop shot is no good. Ball gets bounced around, ends up in Ava Zimmerman's hands, and she's going to push all the way to the basket. Tries to shoot through contact, doesn't get it, but then is able to tie up Huddle. So she's going to save that possession for the Bears. Bears will have it out of bounds underneath their basket. Not a clean defensive rebound, but the Bears got the defensive rebound on the first possession. Good sign for Coach Grosjean's team. Arnold inbounds to Fisher, got some position underneath, and then she's going to be called for a travel, trying to get a shot off against Huddle. So
Got
first
caught in
turnover of the game tonight.
Got caught in a little bit of an awkward position catching the ball.
And that's her game. She tries to get the shot up where you can't block it, or at least where you're not expecting the ball to come from, get to the line. That time, whistle for the travel. Bears run and jump. Try to show some pressure here. Ball down low into Rosebrook. Kicks to Cicero. Her three, in and out, no good. Good check out by Fisher. Ball ends up in Arnold's hands from Zimmerman to Hannah. Hannah attacks off glass. She can't get it to go. Rebounded out by Huddle. And now Cicero's going to run. Cicero gets all the way to the left block, back to Huddle. Huddle curls to the right side. Piper Hannah ties her up. We're going to get jump ball called again. So maybe a little bit of a sign here with the whistle. There was a bump, maybe a little bit of a reach, but we get a jump ball, no blood, no foul. So maybe a little indication early of what the whistle's going to look like. Ball gets lobbed in. Avery and Fisher and Rosebrook battle for it. Rosebrook chases it down in the backcourt. Napoleon will get to set their offense. Fisher aggressively all over Rosebrook. Napoleon crowd would like a little bit of a bump there maybe. Huddle up top now outside three-point line, looking for Rosebrook on the block, working against Fisher. Slides by, double clutch, can't get it to go. Ball's rebounded by Fisher. Both teams a little cold coming out of the shoot here. Fisher looks to push, gets it to Langham. Langham goes left side, kicks to Hannah. Passes up the three, gets it to Zimmerman. Zimmerman hands off to Arnold, defended by Miller. Langham now on the left side. You see Napoleon's not going to let Arnold get too far away from any defender tonight. Hannah gets the ball poked away up top. Zimmerman off a screen from Arnold, kicks right side. Langham's three. Off the back, iron no good, pulled down by Ava Good. And she looks to push now. Cicero with the ball. Zimmerman switches back. Langham now on Good. Good attacks again to the left side. She gets tied up by Ava Zimmerman. We're going to have another jump ball call. It'll be a turnover there for Napoleon.
So far, the Lady Bears have done an excellent job of not letting Napoleon get comfortable in any of their offensive sets. They've contested their shooters. I really think the game plan is to force Napoleon to put it on the floor, and so far, so good.
Ava Zimmerman works off a couple of screens. Ball gets ripped away by Huddle. Fisher chases it down. She tries to sneak through and get a shot off glass. Doesn't go. Rebound to Rosebrook. So 5:14 left on the main stop scoreboard. Both teams still trying to find the bottom of the net. Miller, left side, baseline jumper, good for Napoleon. So 5:05 left. First bucket of the night goes to Hannah Miller, who had a huge night here, career night the last time she played. She gets her first 2 points for either team. 2-0 early lead for Napoleon. Piper Hannah's got it up top. Gets the Bryan offense set. Finds Fisher left side. Fisher now to Langham on the curl. Hand off to Arnold. Runs into some traffic. Hands to Fisher. Screens for Fisher. Fisher step through. Three-pointer for Ava Zimmerman. Back iron no good. Rebound by Rosebrook on the backside. Bears still looking for that first bucket tonight. Cicero long out to Good. Good attacks left side. Gets trapped by Langham. Cicero is going to look to attack left side. Wraparound pass to Huddle. Her 15-footer goes. 4-0 Napoleon lead. Langham quickly to Hannah. Hannah back to Zimmerman. Fisher off of a screen from Arnold. Toes on the line. Three. Too strong. And Huddle pulls it down. 3:56 left. Not a lot of whistles. Game's going by quickly here. 4-0 Napoleon lead. Lila Huddle now. Finds Cicero left side. Beats Piper Hannah and Ava Zimmerman off the dribble. Finishes off glass. 6-0 lead for Napoleon. Ball's thrown ahead to Avery and Fisher. We're going to get our first foul call of the night. That's going to be on number 11, Lila Huddle for Napoleon. Her first, Napoleon's first.
He didn't have a choice. He
No.
looked at the call everything but it, and at the end of the day, he just had to call it.
There's going to be a travel, and she didn't have anywhere to come down. You couldn't call a turnover on that. You had to call the foul.
I think if you'd ask Coach Grosjean before the game with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, Napoleon has 6 points, he'd take it.
Right.
I don't think he wants the zero on the offensive end.
The goose egg's a problem.
Yep, the Lady Bears just have to get something going here.
Fisher takes a break for Bryan. Good takes a break for Napoleon. Miley Balmer in and Lily Cruz in for Napoleon. Arnold tries left side, left hand, bounces around the rim, comes out, rebound to Huddle. And Napoleon's looking to go again. Napoleon's really looked to push. Bryan's been back in transition pretty good so far, but Napoleon wants to push the pace. Cicero's three, top of the key, no good. Ball's tipped around, ends up in Cicero's hand up top again. Good hustle there by the Lady Cats. Cicero left side attack. Closed off by Zimmerman and Vollmer. Huddle now attacks into the paint, kicks out. Cruz, who's just in the game, looks to attack right side, off glass, doesn't go. Rebound down to Josie Arnold. Arnold looks to push. She goes down the paint, gets a shot off through a lot of contact, no whistle. Napoleon pushing again, up to Miller. Miller out to Cruz. Cicero left side three, short again. Great check out on the backside by Miley Vollmer, gets it to Ava Zimmerman. The Bears look to push the pace a little bit themselves. Somebody's got to break the ice here for the white team. Josie Arnold, long three, doesn't hit anything. It'll be Napoleon ball. It's been rapid fire, fast pace. 2:11 left in the first quarter on the main stop scoreboard, and there are 6 points to show for it. 6-0 Napoleon lead here.
You know, Napoleon 6 points, 4 of them came off a scramble where they got out of a trap or it was a loose ball. So, I mean, the Bears' defense has been outstanding, we talked about. On the offensive end, I think Coach Groshi may have to go to a set or two to try to get him a look.
We got subs in for the Bears. Boy, the ball got knocked out of Miley Vollmer's hands by Napoleon. Yeah, the official pointed the wrong way first. He's correct in his call. Zimmerman and Arnold take a break as Fisher comes back in. Kelsey Thiel checks in. Good is back on the floor for Napoleon. And she gives, let's see which one of the Napoleon players came out. Cruz is still on, so one of the other starters is out. Piper Hannah swings to Kelsey Thiel, gives it to Fisher. Fisher loses her dribble and falls down. Hands off to Miley Vollmer, finds Hannah, left corner three. Bounces around, no good. Board by Ava Good. Kelsey Thiel working against her. Good kicks to Huddle. Huddle left side three is short. Rebound to Avery and Fisher. And we're going to call that a jump ball. It's going to stay down here with Napoleon. So I think we've got a really good indication of how the whistle's going to go with fouls tonight. Get subs in again. Arnold and Zimmerman back in for Langham and Hannah. So you see Coach Grosjean trying to deal with this pace by making sure kids get off the floor, get a quick break. Napoleon also subs Cicero back on the floor. And she's giving Lila Huddle a break. Cicero up top, resets the Napoleon offense. She hands off to Miller. Miller kicks to Cruz. Back to Cicero, working against Zimmerman, tries to go left. Kicks to Rosebrook in the corner, three-pointer no good. Rebound by Cruz. Cicero's top of the key three, no good. Rebound by Avery and Fisher. And Miley Vollmer comes up with the ball and she's looking to run. Vollmer into the paint, scoop shot won't go. And there is an absolute lid on that end of the floor. 51 seconds left. Lady Bears still looking for their first points. Good news is Napoleon's got 6.
And the Lady Bears have gotten some good looks. They've had some shots that haven't went in. And we talked about that. Sometimes they got themselves into that rut. So like you said, the good thing is they haven't let it affect the play on the defensive end. They're still in the game. I think they got to go to a set, maybe a Fisher or an Arnold on an ISO play, or get a turnover that leads to an easy basket.
Yeah, you try to get to a free throw line. I know the whistle's been tough so far, but they haven't really looked to attack the basket a lot. Something just to see the ball go through the net. 40 seconds left. Taylor Smith in for Napoleon. Left side three. There, Cicero gets one to go. About her 4th or 5th attempt of the quarter goes. It gives Napoleon a 9-0 lead. 30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Zimmerman works against Good. Hands off to Thiel. Thiel back to Zimmerman. Swings to Vollmer. Avery and Fisher now with the ball. Left side. Looks to get the ball to the basket. No call on contact at the rim again, and that's one Avery and Fisher's gotten pretty much all year. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. So the Bears are going to have to make some adjustments. 7 seconds left on the clock. Cicero works off of a screen, skip pass, Huddle, 15-footer, no good, and that's how the quarter's going to end. So Napoleon, 9-0, first quarter here from Bryan. We're going to take a 60-second break. Be back after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family owned and family focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Back at Bryan High School here, Napoleon with a 9-0 lead after one quarter of OHSA tournament action. Bears will have the first possession of the night. Starters on the floor for the Bears. Taylor Smith stays on the floor for Napoleon, defending Langham. Kicks to Zimmerman. Had a right side drive taken away. Fisher now works the free throw line. Handoff to Arnold. Arnold will work to the middle. Hands off to Piper Hanna. Piper Hanna, backdoor cut to Langham. She's got 3 Wildcats around her. Gets it out of there to Hanna. Back to Langham. Fisher thought about the 3. She's going to take this one. And there it is. The lid is off the bucket. Avery Ann Fisher buries the 3 from the left side. See one go through. Maybe everybody else will get a chance to get one to go through. So the Bears trail now 9-3. Boy, Ava Zimmerman got away with a nice little tap out there at half court. If you're not going to call a foul, you might as well call the 5 seconds there, because that was a long time defending closely by Ava Zimmerman up top. Ava Good with the spin dribble into the paint. Good help there. Hannah Miller attacks the basket. She's challenged at the rim. Somebody lost someone defensively for the Bears. 11-3 lead for Napoleon. Quickly up to Avery Ann Fisher. Works again left side. Ball out to Arnold after picking up her dribble. Arnold up high on the left side working against Cruz. Piper Hanna now against Miller to Fisher. Baseline jump shot is good. 5 quick points in the quarter for Avery Ann Fisher. 11-5 Napoleon lead now. Ava Good will bring it. Throws it over the top to Smith. Smith has it taken away by Fisher. Fisher's going to attack the basket. Makes a run at coast to coast. A lot of contact, no whistle. Amaya Langham now on the floor for the loose ball. A bunch of players on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball call underneath the basket. So the ball's going to go back to Napoleon. Good defense by the Bears there. Again, no call on some contact at the rim.
Yeah, both sides are not happy with the contact, but I will say one thing. It has been consistent. So at this point,
absolutely,
don't waste your breath complaining about it. Adjust to the play.
11-5 Napoleon lead on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them, always near a main stop. Don't forget, it's Thirsty Thursday tonight. Go find a main stop and take care of that thirst. Napoleon now, 5:55 left in the half. Good has it. Thought about the 3, found Hannah Miller on the block. Ava Zimmerman gets in, digs down for the help defense, forces a turnover, ties her up. Bears will get the ball back.
I'm telling you right now, if you're a player and you're in the paint and you bring the ball down to your waist, there's not going to be a call.
No.
I mean, you better go up through contact and expect that contact to happen.
Langham attacks from the top left, spin dribble. Short jumper won't go. Ava Good with the rebound. And Coach Meister, you mentioned it during the break, no offensive rebounds for the Bears, and that trend continues here as Cicero works against Zimmerman into the paint. Taken away by Ava Zimmerman. Diving steal off the dribble. Arnold's got it, gets it to Fisher. Back to Arnold, left side 3 on the way, and she finds the bottom of the net. And big 3 for Josie Arnold. Bears now back to within 3. And then we're going to get a foul called on Ava Zimmerman in the backcourt. And if you're Ava Z on that, you like your chances. They've only called 1 out of 10 at this point, so you might as well just stay up there and play good D.
If I'm her, I go right back to it. She did a great job of telling the officials. Cicero's pushing with the off arm.
Yep.
You set that precedent, I'll get right back up in her knickers, make her feel uncomfortable. In fact, they took her off the ball. They don't like Ava guarding the ball at all, which is a good sign for the Bears.
Yep. Cicero now against Zimmerman back up top. Long skip pass, tipped away by Josie Arnold, just about got there for the steal. Bears really extending that defense, and I think you're right. Cicero doesn't like anything about that man-to-man pressure from Ava Zimmerman right now.
And I will tell you, I may eat my words, but Napoleon doesn't like the physical pressure. Their players don't like the physical pressure, and they're getting a little frustrated right now.
And there's a double dribble on Cicero. She tried a hesitation dribble, carried the ball instead. So the Bears force another Napoleon turnover. 11-8. Bears with a chance to get within one, possibly tie it up here after the start that they've had.
And they have to maintain this pressure because now they're starting to chirp to the coach. They're asking for calls. And again, I think the more physical the game, the better off for Bryan.
Langham works up top. Arnold off of a screen from Langham, picks up her dribble, fires, finds Hannah, baseline, right corner three, good! Ball game's tied, 11-all. Piper Hannah buries the three. Ava Zimmerman right back into her man-to-man defense. Here comes the trap. Cicero gets through, finds Miller over the top. She gets bumped on the baseline, the lightest contact we've seen all night, and that's going to be called a foul on Avery Ann Fisher. Just her first, team second. 4:23 left here in the first quarter. 11-all ball game. Bears have scratched their way back into a tie game. Napoleon with possession under their basket. Cicero's inbounds pass to Rosebrook, tipped away by Josie Arnold. They'll reset and do it again. Cicero lob pass inbounds up top to Good. Cicero off some baseline screens, going to work left side. Left-handed pass finds Good. Left side three is short. Huddle with the rebound, and she is engulfed by a couple of Bears. Ava Zimmerman again ties her up. You know, I've coached Ava Zimmerman probably since kindergarten, first grade. This might be career high in jump balls here, and I've seen a lot of stuff in rec games with jump balls where nobody wants to call anything. Miley Vollmer has checked in for the Bears. She's defending Rosebrook. Rosebrook goes left hand, ball blocked partially by Vollmer. Arnold's got it. She looks to push ahead. Hannah's got it. Might have got away with an extra step and kind of rushed from a bad spot. Good gets it, turns it over, gives it back to Vollmer, then blocks her shot. So Napoleon's got it. Still an 11-all game. Cicero is going to attack. Left hand skip again, this time to Huddle. Huddle finds Rosebrook. Her left side three is going to be short. Josie Arnold chased down the defensive rebound, and she'll walk it up for the Bears. Gets it ahead to Fisher after almost hitting Ava Zimmerman with that pass. Fisher, step through, scoop shot, rolls around and good. Bears first lead of the night, 13-11, and Coach Cicero wants a timeout. So Napoleon's going to take a timeout, 30-second timeout. We're just going to stay here with that. So Coach Meister, nice little run, 9-0 for Napoleon at 1 point, 13-2 run now for the Bears. They've got a 2-point lead, and they look like they've settled in a little.
Yeah, I want to keep an eye on Napoleon too. Their last four shots, three of them have been threes, and even the two, they've all come up short. A little fatigue. They don't like the physicality of it. All of a sudden, their legs are not quite there. They're starting to look at the scoreboard. They're starting to get a little shook up. You know, when you play a team that's as physical as Bryan and you're not used to it, you can get a little winded early, you can get a little fatigue, and all of a sudden, not only do your shots start falling short, you don't get as many offensive rebounds. In this quarter, Napoleon has no offensive rebounds.
Timeouts tonight sponsored by S&S Directional Boring. Don't let old lead water lines or broken sewer laterals give your home an unexpected timeout. Unsure if you have lead water lines, call S&S Directional Boring at 419-630-0726, and we'll inspect it for you. So Napoleon will inbound underneath the Bryan basket, come the length of the court. Again, Zimmerman working one-on-one against Cicero. Cicero still using that offhand to try to create a little bit of space. I would not be surprised if that gets called at some point. Cicero with the skip backside to Miller. She attacks middle, pulls up short in the paint. Can't get it to go. Ball tipped around. Arnold gets a rebound, and she looks to push. She gets the left side, finds Fisher, top of the key, swings to Hannah. Hannah back to Vollmer. Thought about the three. Spin dribble. Runner. Off glass. Can't get it to go. Good look by Miley Vollmer. Just didn't get the friendly roll. Rebound out by Napoleon. Cicero back up in the front court. Handoff from Cicero to Huddle. Right side to Miller. Miller comes off of a screen from Cicero. Nice job there by Piper Hannah and Avery Ann Fisher working against that screen. Ava Good trapped on the left side or right side. Ball got poked away by Arnold. Nobody grabbed, and then it's going to be called out of bounds off of Piper Hannah. She and Miller were scrambling for that loose ball. Sub back in now. Lily Cruz will check back in. Ava Zimmerman's going to get a break as Amaya Langham checks back in for the Bears. Lob into Rosebrook in the paint. Nice post up by her. She scores down low, ties the game at 13. Nice sideline out of bounds there. Arnold pushes quickly to Fisher. She's going to pull up, take the three, and bury it. In transition, Avery Ann Fisher with the three. Josie Arnold looked, pushed ahead. Fisher said, I'm open, I want it, knocked it down. Rosebrook gets free again. Left-hand layup, no good. Rebound to Piper Hannah. And the Bears are in a little bit of a run. Maya Langham, top of the key, three. Boy, front iron, just missed. Good look. Got her feet set, just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Great look. Bears have gotten great offensive possessions the last 5 minutes of this quarter.
Cruz working against Langham. A little bit of help there from Vollmer, about poked it away. Now Rosebrook, left side. Ball down into Huddle in the post. She draws a couple of Bears. Might have got away with a step there. Cruz looked like her toe was on the line for the three. Miller is able to pull down the defensive rebound. And then we're going to get a foul on the putback. Hannah Miller is going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line. Foul is called on Piper Hannah, her first. Welling Construction, third generation, family owned general contractor for quality custom homes, renovation projects, and commercial work. Contact us at 419-636-3712. First free throws of the night for either team. Miller's free throw is short. 84% free throw shooter of the year. And Ava Good will take another break here for Napoleon as Cicero checks back in. Piper Hannah and Miley Vollmer check out. Kelsey Thiel and Ava Zimmerman back in for the Bears. Second free throw is good. 2-point lead now for the Bears as number 22, Taylor Glanz, checks in, sophomore, averaging a couple points a game. She'll give Miller a rest. The Bears will walk it up. Ava Zimmerman gets it across the timeline to Kelsey Thiel on the right side. Langham right corner. Attacks into the paint. Back to Kelsey Thiel. Thiel's got it right side to Zimmerman. Zimmerman to Langham. Langham trying to work against Cicero. That drive taken away. Avery Ann Fisher attacks down the right side of the lane. Layup off glass again. That's probably about the third or fourth layup for the Bears that had fallen off the front of the rim. Somebody needs to check if that thing's level. Everything keeps falling off the front of that thing. Ball is tipped away, though, by Napoleon off the defensive rebound. It's out of bounds, so Bears will have it out underneath their basket. 59 seconds left, 2-point lead. Second quarter action here in Bryan.
For the people watching on TV, they can see it. For those on the radio, Napoleon's defense has not continued to step out and pressured Bryan at all. In fact, they're all playing toes inside the three-point line. I think they're a little concerned about Bryan's quickness, and they're a little concerned about Bryan getting to the basket. He's going to call that
bounce
tip
play
ball.
there. I think the official was saying that was tipped. We're going to get them. We're going to have these guys talk this out. I'll be interested to see what happens because all of the girls were walking towards the other end, including the Bryan girls, so it doesn't surprise me that they overturned that. Bears looked like they were a little confused on what they were doing on the out-of-bounds play, which has unfortunately been a common theme here the last 4 or 5 games. Not been real sharp with their baseline out-of-bounds plays. Cruz now will bring it up the floor, trapped up at half court, ball taken away by Maya Langham. Then Cicero dives and takes it back. She got a little bit of a slide out of that. No call. And then we're going to get a ball dribbled out of bounds. Bears really scrambling defensively. No comfortable moment if you were Napoleon. Ball dribbled out of bounds. 15.
That was Napoleon's 6th turnover of this quarter. The Lady Bears have not turned it over once. That is tremendous. We talked about that before the game. Not giving them extra possession from turnovers and offensive rebounds. Great job.
Maya Langham gets it across the timeline. Piper Hannah left side. Ava Zimmerman in the deep left corner. Attacks all the way to the paint. Kick to Langham. Langham kick to Piper Hannah. She gets an extra step. Nice job. Left hand off glass. Good runner by Piper Hannah. 4-point lead for the Bears. 17 seconds left now in the half. Ava Zimmerman again working against Cicero. Boy, that was real close to a push-off there. A little bit of a stiff arm maybe from Cicero. 4th foul, so the Bears are okay. That's not going to put them on the line yet. 11.5 seconds left. Avery Ann Fisher is going to take a break. That's her second. I think the only player in the game with 2 at this point. All the starters now back in for Napoleon. Last time they were in this set, they threw the lob to Rosebrook on the block, and she's working to post up Miley Vollmer again. Good has it up top, back to Cicero. Tries to work off a screen from Good. Ava Zimmerman avoids. Spin dribble from Cicero. Shot blocked out of bounds by Miley Vollmer. Good physical play again. 2.5 seconds here. Bears need to hold for 2.5. Up 4. Coach Cicero would like a foul called on that down there, but we haven't had a foul called on any of those all night, so I don't know why they'd start now. And I think maybe discussing whether or not Coach Cicero is getting a timeout out of this.
So very interesting. I've seen officials do this before. He stepped out and he made a motion that looked like a 30-second timeout while he's just giving the officials grief. The official just walked over and says, "You want the timeout? I'm going to get it to you." Now he's saying, "I didn't call timeout," and said, "You shouldn't have made the motion." So kind of an interesting cat and mouse game between the officials and Coach Cicero.
Yeah, I don't think they appreciated him being out on the floor and questioning things. So it looks like it's going to be a 30. And they had started the clock, so that's the horn for the end of the timeout. They had told the scorer's table to start the clock, so they did.
And that could be a big, big timeout not to have if you get into a fourth quarter. If they don't have
Absolutely.
any timeouts left.
Absolutely. Burn 2 now in the first.
Hey, you may have one, right.
All right, so Napoleon's going to set up, put their big post player on the block. 2.5 left. Cruz to inbound. Bears switching off all of those screens. Rosebrock gets loose, and the paint's going to finish off glass. Bears defensive breakdown right at the end of the half right there. So Bears are going to take a 2-point lead into the half, 18-16. Lady Bears have to be really happy about how that first half went, especially after a scoreless first quarter, 18-point second quarter. You got to be real happy if you're Coach Groschi and his staff about where you're at right now.
Oh, I think you're thrilled to death because you only gave up 16 for the half, and you scored 18 after being shut out the first quarter, like you said. I love the tempo. I love his game plan coming in. He anticipated a very slow whistle tonight. Coach, you had talked about that prior to the game when you get into the tournament. That's not uncommon. I think the Lady Bears have done a nice job of adjusting to that. And the other thing is Napoleon just can't defend Bryan from getting to the basket. That second quarter, they spread the floor. And like I said, Napoleon's defense just kept stepping further and further back, trying to prevent them from getting to the basket. And all of a sudden, they're not playing defense at 20 feet. They're playing defense at 17 feet, just trying to keep them in front.
Well, I thought after the first time the Bears played, the thing that was going to have to happen tonight was the Bryan Lady Bears were really going to have to shoot the lights out, be able to score and stay in the game. But the flip side of that is we've defended so well. Napoleon's been cold from the field, so 18-16. You know, I would have imagined coming into the game it had been more like a 38-36 first half if the Bears were going to be in the lead, and they just shot it really well. But Coach Groschi is going to take this all day long because you got a whistle right now that's going to allow you to ugly things up a little bit, so continue to make it that way.
You had made a point to me before we came on the air. We talked about can Bryan pressure them at all, and you said they can't pressure them because their guards are going to throw over the top unless they can get into them early in a man-to-man. Boy, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly what Bryan has done. They have not really trapped full court. They've done a little bit of run, jump, and half court, but they picked them up and really pressured Napoleon's ball handlers.
Not trying to pick them up high has made this more of a full court or more of a half court process with some pressure, and that's just allowing the Bears to cause Cicero and the other ball handlers a lot of grief. So we are at halftime. Bears have a 2-point lead, 18-16. They lead Napoleon at the half. We're going to come back after about a 60-second break here, talk some stats and possible adjustments on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
All right, we're back at Bryan High School. Lady Bears have an 18-16 lead on Napoleon in tournament action tonight at Bryan. catch my breath a little bit. I'll tell you what, the pace of the first half was amazing. We tipped this thing off at 7, probably a little bit after 7 by the time all the pleasantries are over, just 7:31, and I felt like a 6-0 first quarter was up-tempo, fast-paced, everything but buckets. It was up and down. There were turnovers. There was a lot of change of possession. There was a lot of shots, just not a lot of makes. And then the second half changed that a little bit, at least on the Bryan side, an 18-point second quarter. So what do we have as far as stats to tell the tale here, Coach Meister?
For Napoleon, they were 6 for 14 from the 2. The key was from the 3, they were 1 for 10. They only had 3 offensive rebounds, 18 defensive rebounds, turned it over 9 times, were 1 for 2 from the free throw line. For the Lady Bears, they were 3 for 18 from the 2, but 4 for 9 from the 3, catching fire in the second quarter. They only had 1 offensive rebound, 13 defensive rebounds, but only 3 turnovers. We talked about before the game, I like to add offensive rebounds and turnovers together and see what the difference is, because that tends to tell a tale. Bryan was a +2 in that category, and they're up 2. So I still think that's something we want to keep an eye on. As far as individual scoring for the Lady Bears, for the Lady Wildcats, they put 4 people in the scoring column, led by Hannah Miller and Chloe Cicero with 5 each, Molly Rosebrook with 4, Lila Huddle with 2, and leading scorer Ava Good was held scoreless the entire first half. For the Bryan Lady Bears, they were led by Avery Ann Fisher with 10, Josie Arnold with 3, Piper Hannah with 5, only putting 3 in the scoring column. So I think the defense and the physicality of the game shows up in the stats, shows up in the scoring.
You know me, I am not a fan. This is what this basketball game is. I would say this isn't, God, I hope they're not, because people have won this way. This isn't Antwerp Four Corners. This isn't Paul Wayne, slow it down. We're not walking it. This isn't Hoosiers throw your 7 passes of possession, why it's 18-16. It's 18-16 because we're shooting about as warm as it is outside right now. But I think that's a big credit to both teams' defenses, and both teams have done a great job on the defensive boards. Like you've talked about, offensive rebounds have been in a premium. When you're not getting second chances and that first shot's not going very often, that's going to lead to some low scoring. So at this point right now, I think, again, you're very happy if you're Coach Grosjean. You would have liked to have not given up that bucket at the end of the half, but you're going to have the ball coming out at the half. You've got the momentum of that second quarter, and you feel good about your mindset versus Napoleon's based on how the last matchup went. You said it before we tipped off. You're Napoleon. You're coming in. You better win. You won that last one by 20, and you pretty much dominated first quarter from the tip to the last whistle. So maybe Napoleon starts to feel a little bit of that pressure if this game stays this way as it goes.
Oh, I think we saw the frustration on the girls' faces from midway point of the second quarter. And again, that's human nature for a high school athlete. You beat a team early in the season, you beat them big, and then you've got to come back and play them in a tournament, and all of a sudden it's a game. That thought gets in your head of, uh-oh, and like you said, all of a sudden that pressure changes a little bit. Like you said, no one has slowed it down. No one has run a ton of offensive continuity. It's been a very fast-paced game. It's just some shots didn't go in early for Bryan early on, shots didn't get in for Napoleon early on, but both teams continue to get up and down the floor.
Like the pace, you like the effort, both teams getting after each other. This is what a tournament game is supposed to look like. Bryan and Napoleon have kind of developed this traditional rivalry in the tournament. We've been meeting now for quite a while, and as their program surged to a state championship and ours surged to regional championship, state runner-up, it was always a matchup that was going to happen. Bryan was going to try to get Napoleon. Napoleon's going to try to get Bryan, and we're kind of back in that. A lot of different faces. Not those, may not be quite the old days what it was for either program, but you can't tell that by how the game's being played right now. So we're going to take about another 60-second break. We're going to come back, talk halftime adjustments for both teams, and get us ready for second half action here from Bryan High School on the Golden Bear Sports Network and 96.5.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Back at Bryan High School for tonight's tournament action. We want to thank our sponsors making tonight's game possible. Today's game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. So a couple minutes left here on the clock before we get into the second half, Coach Meister. If you were Coach Cicero and Napoleon, what are you telling your kids at halftime?
I think one of the things that you have to tell them is focus on the game and not on the calls you think you should be getting or not be getting, because like I said earlier, we've seen some frustration on their faces. I'd be very interested also if one of the adjustments he does not make is try to get Ava Good involved. Leading scorer all year. She has 0 points. She really never got a quality look. Let's see early on if he runs some sets for her. Then the other thing I want to see is, will he play a little zone? I've seen Napoleon enough to know if that's in their repertoire, but they had such a difficult time guarding Bryan in a man-to-man. I want to see if maybe he doesn't throw a zone in there to see if he can contain the dribble penetration a little more.
Okay, and if you are Coach Grosching, after that first half, what do you tell your troops before they come out?
I think you tell them to continue to reverse the ball on offense, because you're going to get a match. You're going to keep taking the ball to the basket, which will open up your three-point shooters. I think you continue to pressure, especially in that man-to-man, and get out in front. Maybe try to get a charge or a push-off on Cicero to see if you can get her in some foul trouble. And then again, I think this first couple possessions of the second half are important. I know oftentimes coming out of the halftime, he'll run that little ISO play where he'll run Josie off a double screen and then throw back to Fisher on the weak side for an ISO to try to get a quick basket. So I want to see if maybe he doesn't go to a set like that. But if you're him, again, I think you try to stay status quo with your game plan.
All right, well, the second half's ready to start here. Bears are going to have the opening possession. Some other halftime scores from tournament action at the half. Shawnee leads Defiance 19-17. Quasion's up 11 on Van Wert 26-25. Bluffton is leading Delta 22-14, and PH is up on Hicksville 24-19. Swanton went down to Lima Bath tonight, and they are trailing 34-6 at the half. Halftime scores brought to you by WBNO, WQCT. No one covers Williams County sports like 100.9 B-Rock. And follow the Bryan Gold Bears all season long on Q96.5. Arnold, Langham, Fisher, Zimmerman, and Hanna for the Bears. Cicero, Huddle, Good, Miller, and Rosebrook for Napoleon. The Bears tried the ISO for Avery and Fisher. Got tied up on the baseline. Bears get bailed out there. It looked like it probably could have been a jump ball call, but nobody ever really had possession. Loose ball then goes off of Napoleon. The Bears get a chance to reset under their basket.
Nice job by Napoleon. They start screaming ISO out as soon as Josie came off that backside double. So good scouting job by Coach Cicero.
Inbounds pass goes into Ava Zimmerman. Left hand all the way to the basket. Can't get the layup to go. Boy, Ava Zimmerman got a really good look at that one and just couldn't get it to fall. Napoleon quickly across half court. Cicero ISO here against Zimmerman. Skip baseline. 10-foot jumper there goes for Rosebrook. That's where Cicero's done her most damage. It's been penetration and finding people for that mid-range jumper. And right there she finds Rosebrook, who makes a nice shot. She's got 8 to lead the way right now for Napoleon.
Yeah,
tie ball game now on the main stop scoreboard, 18-all.
If you're Bryan, I think you want Cicero to beat you from the outside instead of letting her penetrate.
Maya Langham will step through, move left-handed off glass, doesn't hit anything else. Cicero looks ahead, throws it to Josie Arnold. She's got it looking to attack. Kicks left side to Ava Zimmerman. Arnold's three off the handoff back to Zimmerman is good. Second three of the night, 3-point lead for the Bears. The Bears need to find a way to maybe get Arnold off some screens and find a few more looks here in the second half. Get their leading scorer going a little bit. 6 now for Arnold and a 3-point lead for the Bears. Cicero, same thing, penetration, skip, Huddle on the block, gets stuck down low. Cicero, quick pass to Ava Good. That shot's blocked away by Josie Arnold, and Piper Hanna runs out. Gets it to Ava Zimmerman right side. She looks to attack, taken away. Fisher gets it to the right elbow, kicks to Langham. Her three from the left side is good. Back-to-back threes for the Lady Bears and a 6-point lead on the main stop scoreboard. Cicero now works against Zimmerman again. Huddle rolls off of the screen. Gets whacked on the hands as she goes up for a shot there by Arnold. No call. Ball out of bounds to Napoleon, so they'll inbound 6:04 left here in the third.
Yeah, I will say one thing. The officials have been very consistent about that play and that drive and that call. They just haven't called it, so the kids have to understand that.
Boy, and then a really unfortunate call. After all of that, Avery Ann Fisher gets her third. That is the only player on the floor, maybe the only player in the game with a crooked number for fouls, and they found Avery Ann Fisher again. So Fisher's going to take a seat for the Bears at the 6-minute mark here in the third. Miley Zimmerman is going to have to give some good minutes for the Lady Bears. Ball's up top to Huddle. Rosebrook now to Cicero. Cicero against Zimmerman has been all night long. Her shot is blocked by Arnold. And then Amaya Langham getting mauled down on the baseline by both Good and Rosebrook, but the ball comes out to Arnold. She gets it up to Hannah. Hannah finds Vollmer. Vollmer spin move, bottom of rim, can't get that one to go. Rebounded out by Huddle. Cicero, Zimmerman, again, I could put that on repeat.
Yeah, those two have had a heck of a battle tonight.
Going to be seeing each other in their dreams tonight. Neither one of them are really going to enjoy it. Cicero tied up on the baseline off a really good help by Miley Vollmer. Jump ball's going to stay here with Napoleon. Good help defense from the backside by Miley Vollmer, and Ava Zimmerman stays extremely active, getting her hands on every ball she can. Quickly inbounded by Napoleon. Swung around the horn. Cicero's got it in the right corner.
Good
pass
call.
into Huddle, but Miley Vollmer kind of went through her. Second foul on the Bears, 5:15 left in the third. First on Vollmer.
And that's one where Miley doesn't have to do that. Let her catch it, because you stay straight up fairly, they're not going to call anything on the shot block. So Miley just can't get herself in trouble by reaching there.
Napoleon inbounds. Cicero in. Thinks about the three. Resets her feet. Takes the three. Misses off front iron to Maya Langham. Backside rebound. She looks to push. No one picks her up. She'll take the three. Bang! Hits another one. Amaya Langham with a big three. 9-point lead for the Bears, and another timeout for Coach Cicero. Huge start here for the Lady Bears. Coach Cicero takes the full timeout. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back here after 30 seconds in the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Back at Bryan High School, Napoleon with the full timeout. The timeouts tonight brought to you, as always, by S&S Directional Boring. Don't let old lead water lines or broken sewer laterals give your home an unexpected timeout. Unsure if you have lead water lines? Call S&S Directional Boring at 419-630-0726, and we'll inspect it for you. So Coach Meister out of the half. It was 18-16 Bears. They've moved that lead out to 27-18 on the strength of 3 threes, 2 from Langham, 1 from Arnold, and the Bears offense has looked a little confident here starting the third.
Sure has, and 2 of those threes came off give and goes where they got the outlet, they dribbled, they drew a double team, kicked back out to a shooter and got a wide open look. So really good job by Bryan letting offense turn into defense and then making really good decisions on the offensive end of the floor.
Cicero gets it to Huddle. Huddle works to the top of the key against Miley Vollmer to Rosebrook. Ava Good now working against Amaya Langham on the post, kicks far side to Hannah Miller, chased off the line. Cicero kick to Good, right side three on its way is no good. Long rebound out. Piper Hannah and Chloe Cicero will battle for that rebound. Tied up ball goes to the Bears. Long rebounds off of threes it feels like it's a 50-50 every time they come off. Great job by Piper Hannah being aware there and tying up Cicero top of the key and get that possession back for the Bears. 4:29 left on the main stop scoreboard in the third quarter. Bears with a 9-point lead, and there's some zone right there for Coach Meister from Napoleon. First we've seen it. Piper Hannah kicks to Arnold. Fall corner three is going to be maybe blocked, maybe not. The short didn't hit anything.
Yeah, I got
looking
tipped.
to run. That ball gets poked away from Good from behind by Miley Vollmer. Piper Hannah, jump stop, shot fake, kick to Langham, swing to Zimmerman, swing to Arnold. Arnold's going to attack, floater, good. Goes in off of 1 foot, hits the runner. 29-18 lead for the Bears.
Great move by Josie Arnold right there.
Good to Rosebrook. Rosebrook dribbles, poked away by Arnold, gets it to Miller. Huddle now looks. That ball's tipped away by Arnold. And then we're going to get a foul called on Josie Arnold. And then we're going to get a technical called on Coach Cicero. He got the call he wanted. Just couldn't stop telling the official about it. So we get a foul on Arnold, but then we're going to get a tech. We have free throws and possession for the Bears.
Say that's interesting because that should go down as a turnover too, because Bryan should get the 2 free throws. They should get the ball. And again, for young coaches out there, when you continually chirp at officials and chirp at officials and chirp at officials, we saw them grant him a timeout that he didn't want. At some point, you get that, and this is just not an advantageous point for him to get that technical.
No, and he got the call he wanted. He just needed to let it go. So Josie Arnold at the Welling Construction free throw line makes the first free throw. Welling Construction, third-generation family-owned general contractor for quality custom homes, renovation projects, and commercial work. Contact us at 419-636-3712. Second free throw for Arnold is good.
And as a coach, the one thing that I hated the most about this situation is he can't stand up. He has to coach the rest of the game sitting on the bench, and that's just odd for you. It's odd for your kids. It just puts everyone in a weird situation.
He's been up.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service.
Right now, 2 timeouts left, a technical foul. The Bears now with a 13-point lead. Struggling with math there for a minute. Napoleon stays in that zone. Arnold down the lane again. She's going to take that little floater and hit off 2 feet. Now a 15-point lead for the Bears.
Josie Arnold got that little 1-footed floater coming off the top shelf.
And you've got the Bears crowd into it now. Student section being loud. Good ball movement by Napoleon. Good, kicks it out off the block. Rosebrook's 3 is good to stop the bleeding for Napoleon. Molly Rosebrook comes in averaging 6. She knocks down that 3 at a huge moment for Napoleon when they needed all the help they could get. Zimmerman, top of the key 3 goes for Ava Zimmerman. Back to 15 for the Bears. Huge answer for number 2. Miller hands off to Good, and Miller playing a little bit of 2-man game on the left side. Miller's pass goes to Coach on the bench. That's going to be turnover for Napoleon.
Oh, no, he did not call that a tip.
Nobody else on the floor thinks that. He's the only one out here who thinks that ball was tipped.
Wow.
And I guarantee nobody behind him in the Bryan stands thinks that was tipped. So 2:43 left here in the third, 15-point lead for the Bears. Napoleon gets the benefit of that call right there. They will inbound by their bench as we get a sub in for Napoleon. Cruz comes in and Rosebrook sits down. Ava Good to inbound for Napoleon. Into Cicero. Skip to Miller, defended by Hannah. She takes away the drive on the left side. Cicero, long 3, short off iron. Ava Zimmerman comes up with that rebound. She's getting hammered by Lily Cruz in the backcourt. Finds Kelsey Thiel, gets it up to Piper Hannah. Piper Hannah kicks. Amaya Langham, open 3. Bang! Another 3 for the Bears. 18-point lead now for the Lady Bears. And another shoulder check from Cicero against Ava Zimmerman. Miller's drive taken away. Cicero kicks to Huddle. Passes up the free throw line jumper for a fadeaway on the block. Doesn't hit anything. Ava Zimmerman with the defensive rebound. Over the top of the zone. Piper Hannah stuck in the paint. Arnold to Langham, and then we're going to get a 3-second call there. Piper Hannah just kind of grew roots in the lane. Great job attacking, then got stuck by 3 defenders.
She could have spun her pivot foot. There was no way between her and the basket. She was going to have an uncontested layup, but she just got stuck in a weird spot.
Yep. Great push by her. Nothing wrong with that one there. Bears just need to get stops. Cicero again attacks into the paint. Good help from Maya Langham. Miller's 3, back iron, no good. Great box out by Amaya Langham. Kelsey Thiel finds the ball, tied up with Langham, hands to Arnold. Got Piper Hannah up ahead by herself, layup off glass, doesn't go. Josie Arnold comes in and takes the rebound away, but that's going to be jump ball possession to Napoleon. Piper Hannah probably heard some footsteps coming from behind, so stays 39-21, 123 left here in the third.
Actually, the way Piper plays, she's never not been around anybody.
No.
The first time she's had no one around her, and she's in the middle of a scrum. So
Ava Zimmerman gets a break. Miley Vollmer checks in for her. Piper Hannah pokes it away from Cicero. Cicero's probably looking for a break, and she's got our second most tenacious defender on her.
Yeah.
And she drives baseline, and Miley Vollmer is going to get whistled for that foul.
Miley's got to be careful.
Yep. I wouldn't say that Miley likes to talk, but Miley needs to be careful.
Casual observation.
She just needs to think about like how she doesn't like to yell at me. And there she draws an offense right after that. Going to get a push by Rosebrook, I believe. And that'll be her first, Napoleon's second. Bears got 4 this quarter. Napoleon's got 2. And the Bears will get possession. Another turnover there for Napoleon, as Ava Zimmerman will check back in for Kelsey Thiel. Good minutes by Kelsey Thiel right there. Napoleon now in a full court 2-2-1, trying to force the tempo a little bit, put the Bears in a little bit more conflict, bringing the ball up the floor. Diagonal from Arnold to Hannah. Hannah's got it, picks up her dribble, falls down, turns it over. Piper Hannah just needs to relax there a little bit. Cicero is going to be fouled by Josie Arnold. I think Josie Arnold got her, but in a game like this, you figure you're going to get away with that one. That's the way you called it all night. Might as well keep calling it that way, Stripes.
And that's where your frustration as a player and a coach get, because now they've let you adjust to that play, and then they turn around and make a call that's completely different from what they've called all night. You and I have had this conversation a lot this year. If people always say, "Are they good official, bad official?" That's the wrong term. Consistent. That's what we want.
That's good. It's consistent. Doesn't matter whether you like it or not. If it's consistent, we can learn how to play. Cicero's first free throw goes in. Second free throw up and long off back iron, but checks in. So 39-23, 58 seconds left. Bears with a 16-point lead. Napoleon stays with that pressure, and Bears throw it away. Not the time to lose our composure for the Lady Bears. We got to relax a little bit and just do what's got us here, take care of the basketball. Yep. Kelsey Thiel will check back in for Amaya Langham. Bears need to defend here. 52.6 on the clock, 16-point lead.
And this is where you're so important in leaning on your defense, because if you don't let them make baskets, they can't set up their press.
Make sure you're getting the body on anybody on misses. Check out on every missed shot. Good off of a screen from Cicero, finds Cruz. And Cruz's pass is tipped away by Miley Vollmer. Stayed Napoleon's ball, 37.1 on the clock. Again, Rosebrook goes to the block, trying to ISO on the inbounds. Miley Vollmer is behind. Josie Arnold helps down. Cicero thought about the three. Instead, drives left side, kicks to Cruz. Her three is off back iron, no good. Loose ball picked up by Arnold. She's got it ahead to Ava Zimmerman. Zimmerman back to Arnold, around the horn. Piper Hannah attacks, turns it over again. Piper Hannah, she's got to trust herself right there. 14 seconds. Need good defense and no foul for the Bears here. Rosebrook by herself, kicks to Huddle in the corner. Her three doesn't hit anything, and then we're going to get a third foul on Josie Arnold, a bad foul there. Just got out-fought for the rebound. You got to live to fight another day if you're Josie Arnold.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Just got to be smarter than that. You can't give up a third foul on something like that this late. 3.8 left. Cruz is going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line. Her first free throw is no good off back iron. I know what's going through 22's head right there is the ball don't lie, but that was a legit foul.
Yeah,
I called it from up here.
Yeah.
So you get Arnold off the floor, so she doesn't pick up a cheap one in the last 4 seconds. Cruz here with a chance to get the Bears lead to 15 before the end of the third quarter. Second free throw, rattles around and goes. Bears need to get something up the floor quick, get a shot off. Piper Hannah works through some traffic, throws it to Napoleon. So probably a good time for a break if you're Piper Hannah right now. Just relax a little bit. Lady Bears 15-point lead, last 8 minutes of the ball game. Fouls reset. See if the Lady Bears can finish. We're on the Golden Bears Sports Network here. Tournament action from Bryan. We'll be back after this 60 seconds.
The Bryan Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Bryan High School. Lady Bears the first possession. Josie Arnold, long three, no good off front iron. Long rebound to Amaya Langham. Fisher and Arnold back in the game with their three. Amaya Langham tries another three. It's been hot here in the second half. And that ball's going to go out of bounds off of Ava Good. Bears will reset underneath the basket. Arnold will look to inbound here. Bears inbounds plays have been frightening, to say the least. And they were going to get a foul call. Avery Ann Fisher, the patting it up and the under move, and she's going to get to the free throw line on that one. So that whistle's been a little bit more frequent here now, Coach Meister, since about halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, it has been. It's very interesting because the last two shooting fouls have been called by the official behind the play. Not saying they were bad calls. It's just the official in front of the play obviously seeing they're not getting anything. I don't know if the back official is seeing a grab from the side or what, but just kind of an interesting that that's happened.
First free throw for Fisher is good. Second free throw around the rim and comes out. Fisher, an 80% free throw shooter this year in her freshman year. Done just a little bit of everything right for Coach Grosheen's squad. Cicero out of the corner, kicks to Miller. Miller's three is good. Anna Miller finally gets off the schneid and hits a three there. 6 points now for her. The Bears turn it over again against the pressure, and the Bears have got to get better against the pressure. 13-point lead now for the Bears. Miller in the corner, guarded by Piper Hanna. Good screen and roll play by Napoleon right there. Ball gets tipped away by Arnold, picked up by Fisher. She looks to attack all the way to the rim. Ball's going to get knocked out of bounds by Chloe Cicero. Bears get a chance to reset, and this has not been, as I've said, very pretty underneath the basket, out of bounds. I don't know if our screens haven't been very clean or if our cuts haven't been very good, but been a little tough to inbound underneath the basket for the Bears. Ball in from Langham to Arnold. Arnold works in the right corner against Miller. Curl dribble. They've got the ISO now for Fisher.
Yeah, she's got that whole right side wide open. Like to see her take it there a little more.
The Bears need to settle just a little bit on offense. Getting a little bit jumpy here, not taking care of the basketball very good. Need to relax just a little bit.
Coach has got 5 timeouts left. I don't think it'd be a bad idea somewhere down the line if the Bears still get a little razzled by the pressure if he doesn't use one of those timeouts.
Another turnover for the Bears off the inbounds. Amaya Langham's pass is picked off. Napoleon now with a chance to get this game to 10 or 11 with a bucket. Cicero works it down to Huddle. She's on the block. Ball, we get help defense in from Ava Zimmerman. She's going to get called for a reach. Her second, team's first of the quarter. A minute and a half into the quarter here. Bears with a 13-point lead, 40-27. I don't think the defensive end is where our issues have been. They're continuing to play good our defense, but we've got to figure out what we want to do against that pressure from Napoleon right now. Napoleon inbounds into the corner to Huddle, hands it back to Cicero. Cicero up top to Good, defended by Amaya Langham. Good swings to Miller. Back up top to Cicero. Napoleon sets the offense. Hand off to Good, swings to Huddle. Try to get Good on the flash to the block. Here comes Cicero down the lane. Drive taken away by Arnold. Good's three is short off front iron. Piper Hanna, great job running that rebound down. Bears really need to make sure they end this possession with a good shot. Avery and Fisher trap down the corner, gets it up top to Ava Zimmerman. She's going to settle things down. Avery and Fisher right side. You see Napoleon trapping everything they can on the sides.
Yeah, you see Coach saying slow down, relax, don't dribble into a trap.
And I'm like you. You've got 5. Maybe you burn a full one, and let's put a little bit of a plan together here on how we want to, and just settle us down, because we're not going to be very deep here towards the end. You know, your bench isn't going to be real long. Maybe keep your legs underneath you.
Right.
You're not taking offensive momentum away because we don't have any here to start the quarter. Ava Zimmerman works against the top of that zone to Maya Langham, right side. Long skip to Josie Arnold. Arnold thought about it, bounce pass to Zimmerman. She gets stuck on the side, back to Fisher. Fisher with a skip to Zimmerman. Open look for a 3. Oh, rattles in and out. Good look there for Ava Zimmerman. Bears try to trap in the backcourt. Ball gets out. Now they need to recover. Good in the corner. Looks for Rosebrook on the cut. Josie Arnold needs to remember she's got 3 and she has to let her go.
Smart move by Josie there. Got caught on the backside, got a nice drop step, and just let her go.
13 now for Rosebrook. Down to an 11-point lead for the Bears. Josie Arnold's 3 is short. Scramble, rebound. Avery Ann Fisher can't get it to go, but she draws the foul from Rosebrook. That'll be Molly Rosebrook's 2nd. Avery Ann Fisher with a chance to go back to the free throw line for the Bears.
So as a coach, this is difficult, and you've been in this shoes too. The one thing that pressure is doing is Bryan is almost playing passive. They're trying to swing around the outside. At some point, you have to attack that press. You have to put it on the floor, beat the double team, try to get a basket or two. If you continue just to stay outside and pass it around, that's where your turnovers tend to happen.
Avery Ann Fisher's first one is up and good. 12-point lead for the Bears, 41-29. Second free throw, good. Back to a 13-point lead, Bears now, 42-29, 4:45 left here in the third frame. Ball up the floor to Miller. Miller down to Rosebrook. Double comes from Ava Zimmerman on the block. And that ball's taken away by Josie Arnold. She gets it out to Piper Hanna. So the Bears force another turnover, and they're going to walk it up the floor here. Arnold's got it up top, draws a lot of company. Avery Ann Fisher thought about the long 2, passed it up. Back up top to Arnold, skip to the corner to Fisher. Her 3 is blocked. Ball comes down to Huddle. She picks up her dribble in the backcourt. Great defense by Ava Zimmerman. Bears still have a 10-second count here if they can keep it in the backcourt. Boy, that'd be really close.
Yeah, it did.
And that's Brooke in the corner now. Switched by the Bears. Avery Ann Fisher pokes it away. And Avery Ann Fisher in the same boat Josie Arnold is. And Josie Arnold picks up a 4th foul on not a very intelligent play down in the block. Got to be aware of your situation.
Yeah, and that's one where if she just lets her catch the ball, she's still 12, 15 feet away. On the Bears' previous 3-point possession, I'd like to see Avery Ann Fisher put the ball on the floor and get that to the basket instead of taking that 3. That's where she had the one-on-one with no weak side help because they're still scrambling out of the press.
And she had a great chance for a shot fake on that, too. Good defense there by Miley Vollmer down on the block. Forces a tough angle for the entry, and Ava Good throws it out of bounds. 3:48 left, 13-point lead. You have Arnold on the bench with 4, Avery Ann Fisher on the floor with 3. And the Bears have got to take care of the basketball. Up ahead to Miley Vollmer, spin move in the paint. Got an extra step and a turnover for the Bears.
Right move, she just needed to go up right away with it.
Yep. Just go up strong. She tried to get a little bit fancy at the end. Just go up strong. You're not going to get the reach call in there. It hasn't happened all night. Zimmerman work against Cicero again. Cicero to Huddle. Huddle gets a baseline. Kicks out top to Rosebrook. Napoleon's hottest shooter from outside tonight. Long rebound to Cicero. Kicks to Huddle again. And now I think we're going to get the 4th foul on Avery Ann Fisher on the floor. That'll be the Bears' 3rd. So you got Arnold with 4, Fisher with 4, 3.5 left. Now it's big minutes here for the Bears because with Arnold and Fisher on the floor, you're going to have to find some offense out of the crew that's out there, some ball handling. Napoleon inbounds. Cicero throws it over the top of Good, but Crew's able to chase that down and save the possession.
I think Bryan would like to get 30 seconds out of this group, but if they can get a minute, I think they'll get a minute.
But I don't reach foul there on Ava Zimmerman. She'll get her 3rd. Now the Bears' 4th foul. So the Bears got to clean up defense a little bit. We don't want to allow some easy points at the free throw line. You know, you're outsized, you're scrapping, you're getting a little bit tired here. You got to clean up your defense a little bit and not put Napoleon in an advantageous position.
I know what the officials are talking about right now. Ava Good really got into one of the Bryan players and really got into the official, and he just took a little time to pull her off to the side. Nice piece of officiating and said, keep your emotions in check.
Cicero to Good. Back to Cicero off the inbounds. Great check out on the backside by Maya Langham. Rebound chased down by Kelsey Thiel. This will be a good time to burn the timeout, and Coach Grosjean's going to do so right here. So 3:05 left on the clock. Bears with a 13-point lead and possession. First timeout of the night. Timeouts again, sponsored by S&S Directional Boring. Don't let old lead water lines or broken sewer laterals give your home an unexpected timeout. Unsure if you have lead water lines, call S&S Directional Boring at 419-630-0726, and we'll inspect it for you. All right, Coach Meister, just over 3 minutes left. Napoleon's 2 timeouts. Bryan's got 4 timeouts. Napoleon's got possession on the next jump ball. Napoleon has 0 players in any kind of foul trouble. The Bears have 2 with 4, 1 with 3. I don't think that's poor officiating necessarily, like one side or the other. It's just a reflection of the physicality of the game so far. That's the way the game's been played, so that's the way it's been called, especially here in the second half.
Right, and well said. That is very well said. I think if I'm not mistaken, Coach Grosjean is going to bring in Josie Arnold, Avery and Fisher back. I thought he was going to try to get 30 seconds, at least, maybe a minute. I think after that last possession, 13 points, you tell those 2 kids, nothing dumb, right? Don't reach, don't grab. If someone's got to score, they got to score, because it's more important right now that you maintain possession with the time left on this clock. And then again, the uncomfortable thing as a coach, how much do you tell your kids to attack?
Right.
Because you know the opponent's going to press, they're going to trap every pass. So at some point you have to be able to show that you're going to beat it and score.
And then you got to finish. We've struggled with the finish so far. Inbound into Ava Zimmerman to Josie Arnold. Josie Arnold with a skip to Piper Hannah. Back to Zimmerman. Back to Arnold on the A. Skip over the top to Hannah. Hannah works out of the trap. Kicks to Arnold right side. Bounce pass to Fisher. Back up top to Hannah.
He looks like he's going to try to hold and force him to foul.
He's going to try to play some keep away right here. Maya Langham, long skip to Arnold. Arnold back up to Zimmerman.
It's almost, this is where your analytics come into play, right?
Right.
How many possessions do they have left with 2.5? They need at least 5 if you don't score the rest of the game.
And the Bears right there were able to burn 34 seconds off the clock before Huddle fouls Josie Arnold. We'll get Taylor Smith will check into the game here for the point guard for Cicero. She's going to take a break.
I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems like an awful long time to hold the basketball.
Well, and he knows he's got 4 timeouts. If he gets stuck in any kind of trouble, he can get a timeout.
And on the flip side, it looks like Napoleon's willing to foul right away. That surprises me a little bit. I thought maybe he would wait till the 2-minute mark, maybe try to get a couple quick turnovers off of traps.
3rd foul there on Rosebrook. So now next foul for both teams is a shooting foul. Ava Zimmerman works up top, gets it to Maya Langham, guarded by Smith, to Piper Hannah. Napoleon out of their trap now and into man-to-man. Piper Hannah is stuck, and we need a timeout.
Good timeout. Good timeout.
I think the Lady Bears, we're going to go with 30-second timeout, so we'll just stay here with them. So I didn't see what the clock was at when we called that timeout.
About 2:02, I believe.
All right, so you've burned about 62 seconds off the clock at this point in this possession. And like you said, if it's me, you, and Bill Parcells, and we got a lead in the 4th quarter, we're not doing anything silly with it. We're going to keep pounding that rock in the middle of the line and let that clock be our friend. So right now, as much as they're going to allow the clock to be our friend, we're going to do it. Yep. My expectation now is Napoleon stays in that really tough man, maybe run and jump if they have to, but if this thing goes under 2 minutes, 2:12 on the clock, so if this thing gets to 2 or under, they're going to foul if they wait that long.
I almost think at this point he may have to foul now. I mean, he let all that time run off. I think he's at the point now where maybe he can play a 10-12 second possession, but he has to foul.
The Bears, that's where you want it. You want it in Avery and Fisher's hands. Like I said, 80% free throw shooter. Ava Zimmerman's had a really good year from the line. Josie Arnold's had a good year from the line. So you've got kids on the floor that you want to have the ball in their hands. That ball gets turned over, and then right back into Josie Arnold's hands. Zimmerman flips to Fisher.
They got to foul now.
Fisher to Arnold. And then we're going to get a foul. Arnold about got it out of the triple team there to Avery and Fisher. So Arnold's going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line. Bears by 13 with 1:47. Been a really nice possession here for the Bears. Burned a minute 15 off the clock.
Yeah, it's been incredible how much time they ran off.
First free throw for Arnold is no good off front iron, and this is what you have to have also. You're going to get fouled. You make your free throws. This is where you're going to put the game away. Get some subs on the floor, 3 subs for Napoleon. Good, Cicero, and I believe Huddle was the other one that came on. So Good, Cicero, Huddle, Rosebrook, and, oh, my bad, Miller. 5 starters on the floor for Napoleon. Arnold will get a second free throw here. Welling Construction free throw line. Second free throw is good. Gives her to 13, matches her season average. So she's going to get a defensive sub, get a break right here. Her and Fisher on the floor, defensive subs. Vollmer and Thiel on the floor for Coach Grosjean's team, and he would love nothing more than Napoleon to have to take a lot of time to get a shot off. Quick 3 from Ava Good, and she buries it. First points of the night, first make of the night for Ava Good. Gets it to 11, and we'll get Arnold and Fisher back on the floor for the Bears. So good quick possession for Napoleon, exactly what you wanted. Quick dribble up, deep 3, leading scorer buries it. So now the Bears are going to have to work hard to get the ball in, be strong with the basketball, accept the foul, go make your free throws, and that's what the rest of this ball game is going to be from this point on.
And I want to watch the Bears inbound play, because when it's a man-to-man press, the one thing you want to do is set screens or try to screen to get your person open. A little bit more difficult against the zone because you're really screening an area. Typically what I always like to do is overload a zone against a press breaker. Put 2 or 3 on one side, because typically defense don't adjust to that. That at least alleviates the problem of getting the ball in. That's step 1. And like you said, step 2, take care of it, make good passes, and make sure that you're not making that northwest pass where the pass starts out north but ends up going west for an easy basket. So the Bears, again, every possession is a prized possession right now.
Get the ball in, get fouled, get the free throw line. Right now on the floor for the Bears with the 5 starters. Amaya Langham's the only one not shooting 75% or better from the free throw line. So you've got people on the floor that you want going to the free throw line. So it's a matter of getting it in and drawing the foul. Bears go deep over the top, and the ball gets poked away by Rosebrook. Turnover. Rosebrook now up to Taylor Smith. Taylor Smith working against Amaya Langham. Smith hands to Cruz. Cruz gets it to Ava Baker, who is in as a defensive sub. Smith, left side 3, is going to be way short, not draw anything. Piper Hanna's got it, and a lot of company in the backcourt. I would have rather they didn't blow that one. Got to step off of the foul right there. 11-point lead for the Bears, 1:14 left on the main stop scoreboard. This is where the ball game's going to be, not to beat a dead horse. Make your free throws, finish the ball game.
This is why you shoot them in practice. This is why you shoot them in the off season. You get to this spot, you step up and make them.
First free throw is no good for Hanna. Comes in as a 75% free throw shooter. Averages 4 on the season. She's got 9 tonight. She's done it on both ends of the floor for the Bears. Been really impressed with the sophomore year Piper Hanna has had.
Yeah, and this is a big make for her, because now you make it a 4-possession game.
Second free throw is up and good for Piper Hanna. 44-32. Bears lead by 12. Zimmerman tries to work against Cicero. She loses a handle. Comes back and picks it up. That dribble's dead. Piper Hanna chases Miller. Cicero. Bears kind of get lost on the screen there at the top. Good pass up.
Great
3.
defense. Great
Kelsey
defense
Thiel.
by the Bears. Great defense by the.
Oh my goodness, we've got an official 3 feet away on the baseline, and the guy 45 feet away at half court sees that foul better than his partner.
We have.
Now, I'm not gonna say his partner's blown his whistle tonight.
Right.
But that's you. That guy's standing right underneath the basket's got a pretty good view of that.
Yeah, and again, make sure people understand, not being critical, because these officials have done a very good job tonight. But I always ask the official.
Yeah, they've been good.
When that back official makes that call, I always say, well, if you saw that play, you have 2 people watching the ball, and that's not what we have, a 3-man crew. We have a 3-man crew. You're supposed to be watching the weak side. So if you're making that call, who's watching the weak side? They never had an answer for me.
They wouldn't right there either, I promise you. All right, so Huddle makes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. 52 seconds left, inbounded to Langham. Langham's got to go here. Nobody around her. And Amaya Langham, 50% free throw shooter. Just needs to be a 50% free throw shooter right here. Make 1. If you get them both, that's great.
Yeah, something's going to go unnoticed there. Great ball fake and read by Josie Arnold, taking the ball out of bounds. She deked a girl and got her to take a step forward, which got Langham open and made that nice over-the-top pass. That's just a veteran play right there.
Langham knocks that free throw down. She's at double digits now. 10 points for the sophomore. Been really good tonight. Again, both ends for the Bears. Second free throw. Good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for both of them. She says, forget you, Coach Arnold. at 50%. I'm going to knock both these down. I'm not going to draw irons. Josie Arnold pokes away a pass at half court. She thought about her 5th one.
Yes, she did. Thought hard about it.
Ava Good chased off the line by Amaya Langham. Great defense, and then Good's going to throw it to Dick Kuzmal down in the corner by the water cooler.
And in all fairness, Dick Kuzmal was wide open.
Wide open. And in all fairness, heck of a shooter. He's going to knock that thing down Hoosier style.
I'm just going to say Dick Kuzmal was wide open. That's it.
He was wide open. Bears take a timeout. Full timeout. We're going to take one with them here. 30 seconds. We'll be back on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Back at Bryan High School, Lady Bears in the SNS directional boring timeout. Coach Grosjean getting the troops rallied here. 13-point lead. Bears are going to have the ball, go to the length of the court. Both teams are in the bonus. Bears have 2 timeouts left. Napoleon's got 1. Possession arrow is with Napoleon right now. Napoleon's in dire straits. They've got to make some things happen. If the ball gets in, they've got to foul quick. They're running out of time with just 33.9 left on the clock. About taking care of the ball if you're the Lady Bears.
Lady Bears are now in a 5-possession game. They've got to understand that clock's their friend. Get it across half court. Napoleon's going to foul and just be very strong with the ball.
Great job by Ava Zimmerman getting it up the floor. We burned another 7 seconds, or almost 9 seconds. I was told there would be no math. I've been doing a lot of thinking tonight.
It's Thursday. Reward yourself by going to Main Stop.
That's right. A little Polar Pop, a little caffeine. And Maya Langham's first free throw, a little strong off back iron. 24.7 on the clock. No offensive, defensive subs here for the Bears. Coach Grosjean feels pretty good about where he's at. 13-point lead, 24.7 on the clock. Maya Langham with a chance to get it to 14, which she does. Gets herself her 11th point. And Coach Grosjean, who sat on those timeouts like he was hoarding them for the winter season, able to burn another one, and he's still got one left in his back pocket. So strategically, a really nice job by Coach Grosjean and the staff to save those timeouts. They were situationally able to do that, which has been good for them. So now, rest some legs. You've played, I believe we've only gone 7 deep tonight, so everybody's tired. Stress the fact that, listen, open shots for them are open shots. Don't foul. Don't let them score with the clock stopped. And just finish this ball game.
Yeah, like we said, it's a 5-possession game right now. I don't think there's enough time for Napoleon to gain 5 possessions unless you create some really silly turnovers. So even more important, I think, than make free throws, don't turn it over. If they foul you and you miss 6 straight free throws, that's fine. But go shoot the free throw. Don't give them any turnovers that lead to easy, quick baskets.
Yeah, don't be afraid to play some Olay defense on the other end. Let them have their open shots.
Is there another kind? I don't know.
That's all I
read. Yeah. Just asking. I thought maybe you knew something I didn't know. Or
Cruz against Zimmerman. She finds Miller. Miller down inside to Rosebrook. Can't get the block shot to go. Gets into Lila Huddle's hand. She gets the putback. Napoleon stays in there, full court man. Amaya Langham's got it. No fouls from Napoleon. The clock's going to run out. And the Lady Bears, 12-point win from a 26-point loss a month ago to Napoleon, find a way, after being shut out in the first quarter, to come back and score 47 points in the final 3 frames, hold Napoleon to 35 points. Team that came in and burned the nets off of our rims, and the first time we played them, completely different ball game tonight. The heart and the effort those girls played with tonight was huge. Girls should be extremely proud of themselves. Coach Grosjean and the staff put a great plan together and took advantage of the way the whistle blew, took advantage of the way the shots weren't falling for either team, got into a fist fight like you talked about before the game, and came out on the right side.
Yeah, two things I think played a part in this. One, obviously, was the earlier defeat to Napoleon, because I think the kids were embarrassed. I think he was embarrassed. And nothing to be embarrassed about. You just hate to get beat like that. I'll tell you the second thing is they jumped on us. And I had that same situation, and I don't want to retell the story about that same situation. We were talking to the kids and saying that. Here's the facts. Now, I don't want to talk about how upset you are. I don't want to talk to your man that jumped on us.
Both teams meet there at half court for a team prayer afterwards. A lot to be proud of. See a couple of players there. Josie Arnold and Taylor Smith, pretty good friends. And they've hung out quite a bit. Really good kid from Napoleon. And you know how the kids feel, having a kid in it, having kids go through it. No kid likes to see their season come to an end.
No.
And on the Napoleon side, there's going to be a lot of tears and a lot of upset kids there, and you don't want to downplay that at all. Those kids played their tails off. They had a great year. Going to end up 14-9. Got a share of the Cardinal Division Championship in the NLL. They've got a lot of kids coming back. I looked at their roster earlier. They were just 4 seniors on a roster there, and a couple of those seniors didn't play a ton of minutes.
Right.
So they've got a lot of kids coming back too, but a lot of credit to the Golden Bears tonight.
Finish my thought before I got interrupted by the prayer, which is a great way to interrupt me, by the way.
That might be the only way to get you to stop talking.
It could be.
God on the scene.
It could be, and thank God that he did interrupt me. But for the rest of you out there, sorry, God has now stepped away. But he said when they jumped on us in tournament, right? I mean, they're the 4 seed, we're the 3 seed. They could have went somewhere else to another bracket. I think when that happens, like I said, I had that situation. I remember telling the kids, here's the facts. They did it. I don't want you to talk about it. I don't want you to tell me how upset you are. What I want to do is let's step on the floor. And like I said, I always use that with my kids. Act like it's going to be a fist fight. Like, play with some desperation. And I thought the Bears did a tremendous job tonight. Like you said, Coach Grosjean with a terrific game plan. Got really physical with Napoleon. I think they got some tired legs. They had some short shots. They didn't get a ton of offensive rebounds. So just very well played by the Lady Bears, who now get to come down and cut down the net.
Yeah, and I think, again, I've said this. Our dad's scouting report coming into the season, and TJ Zimmerman and I have coached these juniors, and really we've worked some with these other girls and other stuff, but we coached these juniors since K1 clinics back in the old days. We know these kids. We've watched them coming up, and we said coming in this year, we are who we are. If our kids and coaches can get us to 500 and get us into a situation where they win more than they lose, we're going to be extremely happy with how that goes. And you tell us we got a tournament win on top of that and a chance to go to a district semifinal, I'll tell you what, there's nothing more we could have asked for with that. So got Coach Grosjean up here joining us tonight. I'm going to he's got the mic, so Coach Meister and I both get to ask questions
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, that's great.
Coach Grosjean, congratulations. Heck of a win.
Wow.
That was my Johnny Fryman question. I just want to say heck of a win and shove it.
What an effort by our kids, especially the start. We were down, 9-0?
9-0. 6-0
first quarter.
9-0 first quarter.
They responded, made some plays in the second quarter, put up 18. That was huge. I'm just so proud of the way the kids guarded the whole game. It was physical, but it was physical both ways, and I thought our kids didn't back down. It was next play mentality, just like it was against PH and Genoa. We got to play that way.
Yeah, and I think those games we talked about at the time, those games, that Genoa game gets you ready for this. That PH game, it's a league you're going to play today, get you ready for this. Going down to Liberty Benton and battling a bigger team on a Saturday afternoon who's a quality team, those games got you ready for this, and your kids responded. And Tim talked about it before the game. They wanted us. This is the time where you look at your kids and say it's time for a fist fight, how things are going to go, and our kids battled that entire night. It got physical, and we were on top of that side of it all night long.
Yeah, and we just talked about it. There was no way these kids were going to let them cut our nets down in our gym, and that's probably the biggest thing right there. They didn't want it to happen, and they went out and took care of business, and I'm really proud of them because they got dialed here back in January. We didn't guard very well. We gave up a ton of threes. I don't know how many threes we gave up tonight, but wasn't many.
Yeah.
But we just weathered the storm. They knew they were going to make a run at us, and we made enough free throws and got the ball in the right people's hands.
Coach Arnold and I both commented you did a great job of firing the offensive coordinator at the end of the first quarter. Don't know who that is. He suggested Johnny Miner. I didn't want to bring that name up, but no. And that is tough when your kids don't score, but we said defensively you were still in it. The question I have for you is I said this a bunch tonight. It seemed, and I assume it was your game plan, to get really physical with them. I think you got the right whistle because in the middle of the second quarter to the end of the game, most of their shots were short. I thought their legs got a little tired. I thought they got a little winded, and then I thought they started to take some frustration shots. So maybe some comments on that?
Yeah, we wanted to, the Cicero girl's really savvy out front with the ball. She can handle it. She can go right or left, and we just wanted to zigzag her the whole game and make her, take her legs at some point. Obviously, Ava Good can shoot it from anywhere, and we wanted to shadow her, which I thought we did a really good job on her tonight. And a lot of their shorts, you're right, were short. Fortunately, we got a lot of rebounds, too. I thought Piper Hanna did a great job checking people out, as did Josie. And, we had Josie and Fish there with 4 fouls. I was a little nervous there.
Just
at
to make
that
things
point,
interesting, those two thought they'd get themselves in some foul trouble
Just
for
get
you.
Coach's heart rate up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you talk about rebounds, and it was both ends. I don't think either team, and I don't know if we've got stats over there, I don't think either team got to 5 offensive rebounds on the night. It was you're making your first shot or your possession was over, because both teams did a great job. But we've seen that length give us a lot of trouble. They gave us trouble. Wasion just gave us some trouble being longer around the basket. I've said it all year, our kids battle their tails off checking out inside, but sometimes they're just taller.
Right.
But even on long rebounds, we got after it and got on the floor, got after loose balls. The effort was tremendous.
And I thought playing Wasion Monday, we didn't play well the fourth quarter and took some quick shots. But that game was super physical, and I think we carried over from, we didn't back down. We didn't shy away from contact, and I thought that was huge. I got to give a shout-out to Amaya Langham because she struggled from the perimeter in games this year. She got off to a slow start, and for her to knock down threes there in the third quarter and give us a little bit of comfort zone there, that was huge by Amaya.
A couple stats with you, Coach. You held Napoleon to 4 for 19 from the 3. You only gave up 6 offensive rebounds, but I thought the key was you turned them over 17 times.
Well, that's kids' effort, and Kelsey Thiel gave us great minutes off the bench. Miley Vollmer didn't practice yesterday. Yeah. She was sick, and she gave us great minutes, and we got to have that moving forward.
Absolutely.
You kind of avoided the answer, but I'm going to ask it. I'm going to pressure for an answer because we talked about them jumping on you. We talked about they didn't have to make that choice, but they did. And there's an old saying, winners laugh and make jokes, the losers say just deal the cards. I kind of felt like your kids had that mentality tonight. And talk about that a little bit. And I know you're going to be professional, I get that, but we talked about that. Sometimes that can be construed as a slap in the face, but you got to tell your kids, don't tell me how mad you are, show me.
And our kids were at the draw in the classroom back there, and they were sitting there listening to what was going on. And when we went on the board, there was no hesitation. The 4th seed was Napoleon, and without maybe 5 seconds passing, we'll take Bryan. We're on the same line with Bryan, and all our girls kind of raised their eyebrows because they thought for sure they'd go down and we'd have St. Mary's or Rossford or something. And so they walked out of there and they said, Coach, I think we got what we wanted. Because originally they said they wanted to go in Napoleon's bracket, and coaching staff kind of talked them out of it because of their length. And
coaching staff talked them out of it because they were at the first game.
Yeah, they remember that.
Were you guys crazy?
They relived it the entire night.
Yeah. So.
All right, well, congratulations. On to the districts again. This one's got to feel pretty good with this group, so go down there and enjoy it. Go down and cut down the net. Congratulations. Good luck on the next one.
Thanks, Arnie. Thanks, Tim.
All right, well, that was Coach Grosjean. I'm sorry, I was trying to give you a tournament win. It's been a long time.
Wow.
It's been a while. We'll give you a tournament win. Huge win by the Lady Bears, and Coach Grosjean, understandably, very excited about the way his kids performed. And the storylines are plenty. You mentioned it. Whether it was the feeling that Napoleon jumped on you out of a little bit of disrespect, or it was just the tail kicking that you took the first time you played them. Whatever it came down to, the Lady Bears really responded, and you've got to be supremely proud of the effort they showed tonight.
Tremendous, and I think when people are listening to this, I think they need to understand, I'm not blaming for Napoleon for jumping on us. Not at all. If you're a coach, you look at that bracket, look at that draw, you saw the first game, I get it. We've all done it. I'm just really proud of how the Lady Bears responded, like I told Coach, with that mentality. What are you going to do about it? I don't want to hear you tell me how upset you are. Let's step on the floor and show it, and boy, did they do it tonight. Just tremendous.
They did. Huge effort by the Lady Bears, 47-35. Technically sectional champion, moving on to a district semifinal. I'm not sure if we know who the matchup yet is for the Lady Bears, but as they move forward, the one thing that we know is these girls haven't been on the floor. Some of these girls haven't been on the floor in those tournament games, but they've been along for the ride. Going on to that next game in the tournament, not going to shake their worlds up. Doing a little bit different practice without the JVs, not going to shake their worlds up. These guys have been around. They've seen some older kids do it. And I think that model that's been set, this is one of those, Todd loves to say it. Loves to say that the groups before have done this stuff for this group, and that's the way it's been. The example that was set by those other groups who made the run and showed them how to do business, they can feel pretty proud about that at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And you expose your kids to success in tournament, even if they don't play. You've exposed them to that atmosphere. That's what they work for. And again, really, Bryan and Napoleon, really similar, like you said. Those kids have seen great tournament success. They're young this year, very inexperienced. Both teams having that opportunity. But again, the Lady Bears, it's not going to shake them to go play in this district game.
No. And it looks like they get the winner of Wauseon and Van Wert. Wauseon, I think, was up 11 at the half. We'll see if we can find a final on that before we're out of here tonight. Looks like an 11-point win for Wauseon tonight, 51-40. So rematch in tonight's game, rematch in the district semifinals, I believe, at Miller City. Lady Bears will face Wauseon. You figure out, do we have a date for that? But we'll get that figured out when we come back. We're going to take a 60-second break here. We'll come back. We'll talk maybe a little bit of stats. We're going to wrap things up here from Bryan after the Lady Bears. Big tournament win tonight, 47-35 over Napoleon.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
All right, back at Bryan High School here. Coach Meister, we're going to talk some stats here from tonight's ball game that tell the story for the Lady Bears win.
Yeah, for Napoleon, team stats 9 for 27 from the 2, 4 for 19 from the 3, 6 offensive rebounds, 26 defensive rebounds, 17 turnovers. Lady Bears pressure really played a part in that, and they were 5 for 8 from the line. Napoleon was led in scoring tonight by Molly Rosebrook with 11, followed by Hannah Miller with 8, Chloe Cicero with 7, Lila Huddle with 5, Ava Good with 3, and Lily Cruz with 1. For the Lady Bears, 5 for 26 from the 2, an incredible 9 for 19 from the 3, including 5 for 6 in the third quarter alone. 4 offensive rebounds, 25 defensive rebounds, only turned it over 9 times, and were 70% from the line, 10 to 14. Lady Bears were led in scoring by Josie Arnold and Avery Ann Fisher, both with 13, Amaya Langham with 12, Piper Hand, again, an outstanding all-around game tonight with 6, and Ava Zimmerman with 3. And as I always say, liars figure and figures lie. The only figure that doesn't is that final score, 47-35, Lady Bears.
Like we said, Lady Bears will move on to play next Wednesday night, district semifinal at Miller City. They've got the 6 o'clock game. We've been down to Miller City the last couple of years. Wauseon was a 51-40 winner over Van Wert. Lady Bears have played both of those teams, just played Wauseon, lost on Monday night, so another chance for a little bit of redemption for this crew. But right now they just get to enjoy this one tonight. Some other league scores and tournament action going on tonight. Archbold fell to Paulding 53-40. Delta came back down at the half, came back and beat Bluffton by 5. Swanton went on the road to Bath and lost 55-26. And then in the area, Defiance fell to Shawnee 45-35. So we're going to take one more 60-second break here. We'll come back, wrap things up from Bryan. Lady Bears a winner tonight.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
All right, back at Bryan High School. One last time tonight, we want to thank our sponsors who made tonight's game possible. It was brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andrews O'Neill and Lowe, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and Thiel Supply Center. Next game on the Golden Bear Sports Network will be Saturday night as our boys host Paulding in their regular season wrap-up, hosting the Panthers. We want to thank our crew tonight. Director tonight was Chris Belanga, back in the saddle tonight, taking the spot for an ill John Dalrymple at home, running the show from there. I want to thank on the cameras Haley Strine, Colton Sheeline, Troy Roos, Trinity Sampson. I want to thank Bryan High School Athletics. Tough to host a tournament game, whether you're the home team or it's a bunch of people in the gym that you don't know. And a great job, as always, by Nathan Keel and Teresa Kuzmal. Thank Golden Bear Photo, Matt Neff, and Stephanie Ponsack. Back at the station, big thanks to Ben Murray at WQCT Radio, and the Golden Bear executive producer, as always, is Chris Malanga. This student broadcast is produced by the Golden Bear Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball, is prohibited. One final time for all of us at the Golden Bear Sports Network. With Tim Meister, I'm Brian Arnold. Again, the final score tonight, Lady Bears 47, Napoleon 35. The girls avenge a huge loss a month ago and are moving on in the tournament. Good night, everybody.